This is the news you've been waiting for. Tesla Cybertruck is finally hitting the market, and you may be able to buy one very soon. There are indications that the EV giant is about to start actual production of its concept EV truck that took the world by storm some years ago. Join us in this video as we tell you everything you need to know about the Cybertruck production, things that might change with the truck's design, and how much you might need to pay for it. It's been nearly 4 years since the jaw-dropping reveal of the Cybertruck concept, complete with the unforgettable moment when Elon Musk had one of his colleagues throw metal balls at the supposedly armored windows, only to find out they weren't quite as tough as expected. Classic Tesla moment, right? Well, after all this time, it looks like the Cybertruck might actually be inching its way toward production. Tesla fans have been spotting pre-series models here and there, either being transported to some mysterious location or sadly stranded on the roadside, possibly due to a breakdown. Since its grand debut back in November 2019, the truck's funky Bass Pro Shop's pyramid design hasn't changed too drastically. There have been a few tweaks, of course, but the most noticeable alteration is the shortened nose. It's way shorter than what we saw in the concept version, so short that the front wheel arches almost mark the end of the stainless steel bodywork. Quite the transformation from its initial appearance. If you've been keeping an eye out, you might have noticed that the sides of the Cybertruck's body seem to have straightened up a bit in more recent sightings. It's like the truck has shed some of its previously angled appearance. Speaking of changes, the Cybertruck has also embraced a few production-ready features that have caught our attention. You can now spot side mirrors and a single generously sized windshield wiper, an element that really stands out in recent pictures. And hey, have you checked out that beefed up rear bumper? It's got that vintage vibe reminiscent of the 1970s 5-mile-per-hour impact bumpers. Interestingly though, if you venture onto Tesla's ordering website today, you'll still come across what looks like the early concept versions of the Cybertruck. You know, the ones with the longer nose and lacking wipers or mirrors. Oh, speaking of price, the rumor mill hasn't been all that active on the Cybertruck's exterior changes lately, even after some whispers in 2022 suggesting the truck might undergo a little shrinkage, just a few percentage points though. It seems like Tesla has pretty much stuck to their original design guns. But here's the scoop. While the design might not have shifted much, there's an anticipated change in the transition from concept to actual production. Remember that starting price of $39,000 for the base model? Yeah, that might be up for a rethink. You know how the costs of materials and, well, everything else has been on a roller coaster over the past 4 years. So there's a real chance that whenever the base model finally hits the scene, its price might be nudged a bit higher due to those changes. And here's a deja vu moment. Just like with the other vehicles, Tesla is likely to start rolling out the fancier versions first, saving the base trim for later. Does anyone recall the $35,000 Tesla Model 3 scenario? Yeah, it might be a bit like that, with the base Cybertruck possibly arriving fashionably late and making up only a small slice of the total production pie. But let's not forget the juicy details about what the Cybertruck brings to the table. The top-of-the-line tri-motor version is still promising over 500 miles of range, and that's thanks to one big battery. Plus, it's not shy about hauling stuff. 3,500 pounds of payload capacity and a towing prowess of up to 14,000 pounds. Impressive, right? If you're not looking to break the bank, there are more affordable versions in the pipeline. A dual-motor setup is likely to offer around 300 miles of range, and there's talk of a single-motor variant with roughly 250 miles of range. Remember the version that was originally touted to start at $39,000? That's the one. So while the price might be getting a bit of a reality check, the Cybertruck's range and capabilities still seem to be on point. The claim of a 500-mile range in the tri-motor Cybertruck has been under a bit of a microscope lately. The reason? Well, achieving this range would mean a battery pack that isn't currently part of Tesla's lineup. Take the longest ranged Model S, for instance. It rocks a 100 kilowatt-hour battery pack and manages a pretty solid 405-mile range in EPA estimates. And that's with some seriously slick aerodynamics on its side. For the Cybertruck to even get close to a 500-mile range in EPA tests, it might need a battery that's almost as massive as the one found in the GMC Hummer EV. We're talking about a beefy 246 kilowatt-hour gross, 212 kilowatt-hour usable pack that the Hummer EV boasts. That's the ballpark we're playing in for the tri-motor Cybertruck. And just like the Hummer EV, you might need to brace yourself for the potential price tag of this version. It could leave you breathless. Oh, and let's not forget its likely hefty curb weight too. So while Tesla's ambition for a super impressive range is commendable, there's a practical side to consider. The numbers and the tech will need to dance quite the tango to make it happen. The version that's likely to steal the show when the whole Cybertruck lineup finally debuts is the dual-motor variant with a 300-mile range. It's expected to hit that sweet spot where price and range find a harmonious balance. But pinning down an exact price is still a bit like trying to predict the weather. It's tricky. To reach that 300-mile range, it might need a battery with over 150 kilowatt-hour capacity, which is way above what Tesla currently offers. Now, let's talk about the base model. It's said to be equipped with a 120 kilowatt-hour battery, which is actually larger than what you find in the Model S and Model X. That being said, some skepticism is in order when it comes to that $39,000 starting price promise. Given all these battery capacity upgrades. Now, let's talk about something that's been raising eyebrows. Tesla's commitment to the armor glass concept. It's been a point of discussion in recent months. Tesla's still holding on to the idea of armor glass, although you might not want to interpret the word armor too literally. And for the love of innovation, please don't go testing its strength with metal balls, or golf balls for that matter. According to Tesla, this special glass and polymer layered combo can take hits and redirect impact force for better performance and damage resistance. Sounds fancy, right? But they haven't exactly spilled the beans on why this is suddenly a big deal in the world of pickup trucks. Curious minds want to know. Oh, and brace yourself for this. The Cybertruck is expected to flaunt an adaptive air suspension. Fancy lingo aside, it means the truck can lift itself up or drop by 4 inches depending on what you're up to. Now, the million-dollar question. When will the very first production Cybertrucks finally find their way into the eager hands of buyers? That's a mystery we're all hoping to unravel. Elon Musk, the head honcho at Tesla, has dropped some hints about a delivery event happening towards the end of the third quarter, think late September. Now, we know when it comes to Tesla, it's a bit like trying to predict the weather. Forecasts and plans are one thing, reality is another, and sometimes there might be a few asterisks thrown into the mix. What's for sure, though, is that the Cybertruck will roll onto the scene in an EV world that looks dramatically different from the one it was first showcased in as a concept. Right from the get-go, this truck is stepping into a ring with contenders like Ford, Rivian, Chevrolet, and GMC. And guess what? More opponents are revving up their engines from the likes of Ram and Fisker. The competition is heating up. But here's a question that's floating around. Will those who were initially drawn to the Cybertruck's funky style and went ahead to reserve one still find it cool come late 2023 or early 2024 when it's time to fork out the cash to actually have one? Is it a design that will stay fresh and appealing, or has its moment in the spotlight come and gone? Please let us know your thoughts and opinions in the comments section. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any new videos.